Part 4.
Honey, I don't have a clue. Did you check to see if there is a connection between the two victims? I received a call from Officer Patterson just before I came into the house, and he said you were the prosecutor on both victims in their DUI case a few years back. The victims' names are Jack Stone and Albert Sanchez. Does anything about their names ring a bell? Babe, do you know how many cases I prosecuted over the years? In any case, I can't begin to speculate who could be behind these letters. In the meantime, I am assigning you protection until I find out who is behind these murders and how you are connected, Eric said. Honey, I do not need any protection. I have my firearm, plus there are enough police officers on duty at the courthouse. I know you think you can handle yourself, Kathy, but you will be escorted to and from work until further notice, and that is final, Eric said forcefully. I have to go finish getting ready for work, Kathy said, walking away in a huff. Eric went downstairs and called the office to make police protections arrangements for his wife. While talking on the phone, he sees a pile of unopened mail on the table. As he shuffled through the mail, he noticed an envelope from the Board of Prison addressed to his wife. It was post-dated almost 2 weeks ago. Eric was holding the envelope as Kathy walked down the stairs. He looked up and Kathy glanced at the envelope in his hand. I have to go. Make sure you take care of my request, Eric said as he hung up the receiver. Kathy, why haven't you opened this yet? It is only the BOP notifying me about you-know-who upcoming parole hearing, about which I could care less. Well, I am going to read it if you're not. Go ahead, you can read it. You're wrong, sweetheart. You know who is being released from prison, Eric said, looking at Kathy's shocked expression. This can't be true. He still has 5 years, Kathy said, snatching the letter from Eric's hand. Are you okay, sweetheart? Eric embraced Kathy, expecting her to break down crying. No, I am not okay. How dare they release him early? He tried to blame my sister for the accident that killed her, my mother, and the other couple. No, I am not going to get emotional. I refuse to allow that man to affect my life anymore. I have to get to work. Come on, let's go. I want the police chief, my man, to escort me to work today. Meanwhile, at the townhouse of Dr. Roger Kenner Sr., Sam had broken into the home and was awaiting patiently for the doctor to return. Sam looked around the house, found a loaded gun, and kept it to use on Dr. Kenner. As Sam continued to search around, there were several videotapes on a bookshelf in the doctor's office. There was one tape dated 25 years ago. Sam decided to watch it. As Sam is halfway through the video, Dr. Kenner walks in. Who the hell are you? Dr. Kenner yelled, extremely loud. Dr. Kenner, welcome back, Sam said, swirling around in a chair with a gun pointing at the doctor. How did you get in here? Does it really matter, Doc? Here, sit down, Sam said, standing up and motioning for the doctor to sit down in the chair while still pointing the gun at him. First, place your hands behind your back. What do you want? Dr. Kenner asked as Sam placed handcuffs on him and tied his ankles with rope. Guess what, Dr. Kenner? You do not get to ask the questions. But to answer your question, I came here to kill you, Sam said, while tying the last knot very tight. What have I ever done to you? Well, let's see, Sam said, and turned the chair around, pressing play on the television remote control. I am the star of your video. Is that you? Dr. Kenner asked, bewildered. You had the nerve to videotape what you did to me? Sam yelled angrily. That is you? Dr. Kenner asked a second time, not believing what he had just heard. Yes, you have destroyed my life, you and your son, who I will be taking care of next. Your uncle was paid for my error of judgment. He was compensated handsomely, as a matter of fact. Your money can't change the psychological and physical damage I suffered over the years from your incompetence, Sam said, pointing and cocking the gun at Dr. Kenner's head. If it is more money you want, I can pay you. I don't want your money. I want you dead. You and your son have destroyed too many lives. By the way, does the name Roberta Jones ring a bell? Roberta Jones? Where did you hear that name from? Does it matter? Just answer the question. Do you know her, yes or no? Sam demanded, pressing the barrel of the gun harder on the doctor's forehead. What does she have to do with you? Dr. Kenner asked, still avoiding the question. Never mind, don't answer. By the look of your expression, you do remember her. You should, since you raped her many years ago. Of course I remember her, and I did not rape her. Plus, my parents compensated her well to keep her mouth shut. Do you think your money can just pay people off and their pain and suffering disappears? Sam asked, banishing the gun in his face, placing it on Dr. Kenner's forehead while cocking the trigger. Dr. Kenner closed his eyes and began to pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Don't worry, I'm not ready to kill you yet, Doctor, Sam said, and pulled the gun away from Dr. Kenner's forehead. We are going to go down memory lane first, because I have a secret to share with you. If you are going to kill me, just get it over with. I am not trying to play your games today. Oh, you are going to listen to me whether you like it or not, Dr. Kenner, Sam yelled. Now, back to what I was saying. My uncle was Roberta Jones, attorney, and when I was going through his things, I came across her file. You don't have a clue how she is connected to you, your son, and me, do you? I'm sure you are going to tell me. I sure am. But first, tell me what happened the night you raped her. I'm not saying a word because I did not rape her. Don't you worry, Doc. The statutes of limitations have expired. You cannot be charged for your crime. Plus, this file says differently, Sam said. Since you are claiming you never raped her, let's just see what statement she gave my uncle and the police at the time. Why don't we? Sam said, opening up a file and taking out a sheet of paper. Sam begins to read. My name is Roberta Jones, and I was raped by a white male named Roger Kenner. That is your name, isn't it, Dr. Kenner? Sam asked and continued to read. I was walking home from work when Roger, who I knew from high school, approached me. I do not think he knew who I was, but I recognized him. He asked me where I was going and told me how pretty I was, considering I was a black girl. Next thing I knew, he was pulling me inside of his truck. He drove me to a secluded area and raped me. He told me I was nothing but trash because of the color of my skin, then spit on me and drove off. I could not move, so I laid there until morning. As I walked along the highway, a friend of my mother drove by and picked me up and took me home. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Where did you get that again? Dr. Kenner asked, displeased. Does it matter? Do you deny this never happened? No comment, Dr. Kenner answered as he held his head down. When you were contacted by my uncle, your parents decided to pay her off for her silence. But there was one thing you never counted on, Roberta becoming pregnant. She what? Dr. Kenner exclaimed. Roberta Jones had your baby. You are the daddy of a baby girl, woman, who you will never get to know. Or, what did you just say? You heard me, Doc. You are the daddy to an African American woman. That can't be true. Oh, it is true, all right. You would be proud, too, if you were not such a bigot. She made something of herself, unlike your no-good son. By the way, did he tell you he is being released? I am aware, because he will be living here. Thanks. Now I know where to find his ass. Why are you after my son? He paid his debt to society. He served 25 years of his 30-year sentence. He paid his debt to society for 4 deaths. Now he must pay for the 5th death, mine. It was an accident. Those deaths were not intentional. Why do you want to kill him? I don't plan to kill him. I plan to kill you. I have another plan for him. which you will be alive to see before you die.